Coming up next on the Filthy Rich Cleaners podcast.
I feel like us as entrepreneurs, we're always at the roll of a dice. Like you feel like you're at the top of a cliff and you're going to close your eyes and jump off.
From your first dollar to your first million, welcome to the Filthy Rich Cleaners podcast, presented by ZenMade. Join your host, Stephanie Pipkin, founder of Serene Clean, as she shares proven tips, tricks, and hard-earned lessons. Whether you're just starting out or ready to scale, get ready to discover how to build your own cleaning empire. Let's roll up our sleeves and dive in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Filthy Rich Cleaners podcast. I am your host, Stephanie from Serene Clean, and in today's episode, we have Miss Jamie Runco, and I am so excited for you guys to meet her if you have not done so. She is an amazing personality in our space, a fellow podcaster, and a great business owner with an incredible story. So, Jamie, thank you so much for your time today. I'm really looking forward to this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on here. I seen over in the ZenMade master class. I mean, I think everybody goes over there. So over in the ZenMade master class, Andrew, is it? Andrew was asking, and I said, oh, this would be such a great moment to kind of collide, because we do the same thing. It's all about cleaning businesses and how we can run and scale. And I'm the new kid on the block. I've only been open it'll be 4 years in March of next year. So March 1st, it'll only be 4 years. Yeah, so I'm still the new kid on the block. I still get my coaching and my mentoring done for me. I still have a lot of questions, but on our podcast, it kind of morphed in over to showing what coaching does for me, and everybody's watching it live because I do forget that this goes out to everybody. So it feels like I'm just talking to an old friend, getting some training done in the same time and showing that it's possible to grow your business like I have in such a short amount of time. It's wild to me.
Well, and I love that you're highlighting that vulnerability and openness to share the process literally in real time. And that's something that I think a lot of both of our listeners probably really appreciate, just from the feedback of I'm like being happy to be shown behind the curtain, behind all of the grandeur and what seems to be this perfect business, or that we've got it all going on or whatever. It's like, no, shit is always hitting the fan.
Constantly.
Literally every week.
It's constant. It ebbs and flows too.
Yes.
It's like, I promise you, if I can get where I'm at, I promise you, you know what? I started off literally praying in a church parking lot. I was their custodian at this church. My company has since taken over the account.
Yeah, which is amazing. I know when I was learning about your story, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear about this whole process of you were looking for a new life path, right? And you're like, how many times?
Yeah, I was just like, man, I was literally praying, and I'm praying, show me a sign, God. I'm literally in the church parking lot, and I'm like, show me something. And as I got done with this prayer, I looked up, and there was a van that went by, and it was Garcia's Cleaning Company. And I was like, there it is. I was like, I'm already got one foot in the door. You know, all these little old ladies, well, do you clean houses? And, but I knew instantly, as soon as I started, that I was like, I want to be big. Yeah, this is, I don't want it just to be me. I can give other people work. I know I can do it. And there was a lot of trial and error.
So talk to me about the first couple months then. What did that look like? Did you immediately hop into commercial as well? Or what was that first few months?
It was a hot mess. So I was only charging $25 an hour. You know, I think everybody was just, you know, you don't realize that you need to charge enough to run a business.
Well, sure. Where's your business located again? Remind me.
So I'm all the way up by Oregon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've spent time. That's actually my dad was born in Oregon. And so he spent his summers in Northern California. So we went up to the Redwood Forest when I was in like third grade. What a beautiful area.
We moved from town to town. I mean, the bus, the school bus, the whole 9 yards. Like they were super. My mom was a rainbow child, the whole 9 yards. So we traveled the country, and whenever I got here, I was just like, wow, I just fell in love with the place. It was just absolute, but it's super. When we say rural, like I live in everybody lives in a rural area. I'm talking the town that I just bought my house. I bought my house last year, and the population here is 3,700, I think. And then the big town, going over to the bigger town of Fortuna, is like 14,000. And then the big city, which is about another 30 miles away, or 30-minute drive. It's a 30-minute drive. Eureka, for the whole county, it's such a huge county. There's probably 35,000 people in that.
That's where we spent time in, was Eureka or Wairika. I can't remember how we would say it.
We were thinking about trying to open up over another spot in Eureka, just to dip our toe in it. It's such, I feel like us as entrepreneurs, we're always at the roll of a dice. Like you feel like you're at the top of a cliff and you're going to close your eyes and jump off and hope that bungee cord snaps you back. It does its job, I started asking like all my friends, hey, want to come work for me? Let's go do some cleaning. I'll pay you whatever. I got introduced. I don't even know how. Of course, it's had to have been through Facebook, but I got introduced to Shannon Miller. She is a coach and a mentor. And I got onto the phone with her, and I was like, this is so weird. I don't know. Like, who does this? Like, you're going to coach me to what? You're going to consult me? And I didn't realize the value of it. Fast forward just a couple of weeks, right? I called her back and I was like, I'm going to trust you. And she took payment plans. And I was like, okay, if you're willing to do that. And she goes, if you can't get to, I don't know, at that time, I was probably only making, this is before I even got like my EIN number or anything. Then it just started going boom, 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 boom. After I hired her, I was like, if you can't get up from like $800 a week to $2,000 a week or something like that, then, we'll pause. And I was like, okay. So fast forward a couple months, it just started, I got a booking platform. Everything just started looking really professional. I went and got that EIN number. I went and did a fictitious business. I'm still a sole prop. She said, I think it's time for you to hire real employees. I'm like, I've got real employees. They're my friends. What do you mean? A lot of people that start, they don't know. They don't understand that you're running your business completely illegal. I went and grabbed work comp insurance and set up for payroll and, did all the things. And then we kept growing and kept growing. Year 1, we grew 100%. Year 2, we grew another 100%. Year 3, we grew a crazy amount. And here it is going on the 4th year, and I believe we're getting ready to do another 100% growth. So it's really went by fast, but now I have also established all these things like a car payment, a house payment. Now I have all these employees, and they're relying on me to make this work. So there is no plan B, like this is all or nothing. I am totally 100%. This has got to work. And that's what I do.
Yeah. And that's what it is when there's no other option but to make it work, you can get very creative because it's like, I don't like
Panic.
panic, desperation, terror, all of these emotions we've all
Stress.
felt,
Yeah.
stress. However, there is something, it really changes you. It shapes you when other people are relying on you. Like you got mouths to feed. That's how I see it is, I have to behave in a way because, and make sure that this thing is successful because I have people relying on me. And how many staff members do you have right now?
6. It ebbs and flows. I have not been able to get over 10. 1 minute I can have 10 and then I am just, back down to 6.
Yeah.
But the 6 that I do have are just
stellar.
So perfect. They're perfect. They've been with me. Kayla's been with me. She's a team lead and she's been with me for 3 years. I mean, that's a long time. She's pregnant and getting ready to go on. I know. So, and this is the first time that I'll be going through the threshold of, because everybody knows how California is with their laws and all their taxes. So I'll be going through the threshold of learning how to do maternity leave and what that looks like.
Is that a requirement in California? Because for us in Wisconsin, it's only if you have pretty much all of the requirements for those types of benefits hit when you hit 50 employees for us. So for you guys, it sounds much more stringent.
For us, it's 5 employees or more.
Holy shit.
They have to be able to.
I understand. I'm saying.
No, I know you do. I know you understand.
Yeah.
But no, I think California is maybe one of the hardest places to run legitimately. And that's why I tell everybody, make sure that you're reading your labor laws. You gotta be on top of that stuff. And again, this is stuff you just learn. Like, I didn't know that I needed work comp insurance to actually have real employees, and that you can't use them employees, and learning from Chris Schwab, Chris.
Oh, I love Chris. He's been many episodes on this podcast.
Yeah, same. Yeah, he's been. We just did one on Friday. I was listening to and did not know about. You have to have W-2 employees in order to get federal jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that SAM.gov is one of the hardest. It's so hard to fill out and make sure everything is dotted, T's are crossed. I didn't know that. So that kind of makes you stand out if you're in a rural area like I am, stand out from your competitors, really.
Well, I like that you're highlighting too is that like no matter how long you're in business, you're always going to learn things, and it's easy to get down on yourself when you make mistakes. Like the reason I know so much about OSHA and OSHA violation is because we got reported to OSHA by an employee, and that's why I know about secondary labels, and that's why I know so much about SDS sheets and all of the requirements, because until you get burned, pain is the best teacher. And
it is.
You learn really quickly. So for anybody that's listening who is you made a big mistake or something, or especially with laws and regulations, right? Or taxes, or we make a big fuck up, and it's really easy to just get down on ourselves. But it's like, trust me, it's not the last time it's going to happen. And you just have to learn and move on from it and go into problem solving mode, right? Because if we just sit there and screw ourselves, that doesn't solve anything. Like, feel sorry for yourself, set a timer on that period. You got half an hour to go cry. Now we got to solve this. Right?
No shit, because and do it by yourself. Do not let your employees ever see that. Like, make sure that you are a good leader. Your business will grow once you grow. And that goes with that OSHA or the labor board. Those are the entities that I just don't want to fuck with ever. Or IRS.
Yeah.
The IRS. And you're right. It's like you don't know to look at OSHA. Like, who knew that I had to have 20 pages of, if we use Barkeeper's Friend, of their
the SDS
ingredient.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know that, or emergency kits in all of everybody's cars, because I don't have a bunch of vehicles for everybody. They drive their own. But you have to have emergency kits, well, at least in California. And I always say, go back to, at least for us in California, we have to have it. They have to have it in their vehicles, and you have to supply it. And you can just supply anything, everything. So we really zoomed up there, though.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And so, you brought Shannon on fairly early on, and what was it like for you to have somebody to lean on? I think it can be it's such a lonely path, and I know for myself, I got coaching pretty early on, and it was great to be like, okay, how do I do this? How do I do this? Right. And just, I'm a very good implementer. Like, you tell me to do something, like, I'm going to do the thing. And sometimes it's really nice to just be in execution mode instead of having to like make every decision. I mean, at the end of the day, we still have to, but to have somebody to bounce off to, and obviously we got ChatGPT now, like there is somebody always to bounce off to.
Oh, man. I call her Esther.
Oh, that's funny.
It's Esther. That's my best friend.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What is yours?
Chatty, just chatty. With an I, it's a girl.
Yeah, Esther or Estelle or Esther. Yeah. Early on, I hired Shannon, and like you said, it is very lonely. It can be. It's the most fun that I have ever. But to lean in on somebody that understands, been there, done that, sold their company for million, whatever they sold it for. They've been there, they've done it, and I just didn't at first realize that. But as time went on, and she's like, do this, do that. Some people took on to it and are ready for that, and I was one of those people. I did everything she said that to do. It wasn't like, oh, I hired you, now make everything work. It was, oh, there's the real work now. Now you really got to go work. What do you mean I have to go and talk in front of my chamber meetings? What? That takes a lot of practice too. Getting up and talking to yourself in the mirror and trying to see how you're presenting yourself. The first couple of times I fumbled, but I've gotten a lot of business from doing that, helping sponsor and support any school functions. I have a son who's 10 years old, sponsoring his baseball games, and, it's money, but you know what? It comes back to you. Your community sees that you're doing these things. People love seeing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So talk to me about how the pricing structure has changed. Starting out at 25 an hour, obviously pricing has probably increased and changed drastically. One, do you still charge hourly, or have you switched strategies? And two, what does that look like on average for you guys now?
So we switched over once I hired Shannon. She's like, if you're charging hourly, she's like, whenever you have cleaning techs, they learn that house. They can learn the house on their regulars really quick. And the faster they get, you're kind of stuck at, oh, this is hourly. So I ended up changing it to flat rates. At first, it started to become $150 for any of my cleaning techs to show up at your door. Now our minimum is $189.50.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why I threw the 50.
That's
right.
Excellent.
So the average ticket is $303. Now this is including
first times and move outs, I'd imagine.
This is including everybody. So reoccurring, I wouldn't know exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I really haven't looked, but I think that's a pretty good average.
Yeah.
And we have probably about, 50, 60 appointments a week. Our standard weekly, bi-weekly, $187.50. That right around $225 is about what we average, because people have pets, kids, blah,
Sure.
blah, blah.
Yep.
Deep cleans, I just bumped that up from $450 to $500 start. And move in, move outs, we all know those are so hard on the body, hard on your cleaning techs. those start at $550 and they go up. So our average ticket on a move in, move out is about right around $1,000.
Yeah, depending on the house size, of course. No, that makes perfect sense.
Recently, I found that this is a good way to get a great lead. Was we've offered a huge discount for your first time clean, but you have to have 9 reoccurring services thereafter for only weekly and biweekly.
I'm curious, in that situation, so they say yes, like they do that, they get the discount, and they cancel after 4 cleanings. How would you mitigate? How would you handle that situation?
We charge before we even show up over at, so they have to have a credit card on file. They have to have a deposit. I take a deposit for every first time clean, because then that it automatically holds on to that card for me. They cannot continue services without that card on file. And then down in my terms and conditions, it states that if you do, like I have different settings for commercial, for residential, and then for this discount, I have one that says that we will charge prior to getting there. That way, it's only fair that if my cleaning techs go, they deserve to still get paid. Like here in California, you have to pay a minimum of 2 hours no matter what if they show up to the job. So
I gotcha. So if somebody were to like take advantage of that discount on that first time clean, but in return, they must have this package, right? They have to get 9 cleanings. So say they change their mind and they want to cancel 4 cleanings in, like, would you charge them the difference on that first clean, or how would you handle that situation?
I'm not going to charge them. But I will charge that last kind of like a cancellation fee.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, which would be their cleaning fee, and we'll just call it good. I don't want people to feel so stuck to where they're like, oh man, I can't get out of this.
Yeah. Well, that makes
that's an automatic 1-star review.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I also feel that way. Yeah, I don't do contracts with, I mean, obviously we have our guide, like we have what they sign and agree to, all of our terms and conditions, but it's not like you can't cancel, you know what I mean, services.
Yeah.
Like that feels, as a customer of other services, I wouldn't like that. I've never liked it where I've had to buy out my contract or anything. That drives me nuts.
Right. It's not that I want to stick it to anybody, because I don't. And I say that. I was like, it's not because, but I've shown up in the front of their house and they've left a note at the door. Sorry, we want to cancel today. No.
Oh my God.
No. That's not how this works. That's whenever this all evolved. And honestly, Shannon was like, I told you so. I hate to tell you that I told you. She don't do I told you so. It was a told you so moment. And I even told her as such. I was like, I know, you've told me this. You told me to implement. So if we show up to your house, we're definitely charging for the full price of the cleaning. If your kid is sick, if you're sick and you have, I'm sorry, do what you got to do. I'm not going to,
charge a fee. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. We're the same way. We basically just want to be able to cover the cost of the tech's time, what they would have done. And so, but yeah, like you said, if somebody's sick, then we're not going to charge it unless it's like, okay, 3 times you've canceled or whatever, same day. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Those same days are like, oh my gosh. Because, your cleaning tech is already, they're prepared, they're ready to go. And then, sorry that this client canceled, and it's like, gosh.
Yeah.
It's so hard on them.
No, it is. And it's frustrating for us in the office as well, because we're last minute trying to fill things or rearrange schedules to get everybody their hours. So yeah, you gotta have those policies in place. And again, coming back to the pain is sometimes the biggest teacher. And it's like, I'll get emails sometimes from our listeners who are like, well, I heard you say this 7 times and then it happened to me and now I'm finally putting this thing in place. I'm like, yeah. Sometimes we just gotta get burned.
Yeah. That's one, having those policies. Yes. Yeah. And then hiring friends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, tell me about that. Have you lost friends over the business? Because I have. I've hired friends and they're no longer my friends.
Yes. I've had people flipping me off. I mean, that's how bad it was. It's like going through a divorce
Yeah,
almost.
and that's the thing is once you introduce money into a relationship, the relationship changes. Absolutely. Whereas, with my employees who, I would consider them my friends, the money's always been there, right? Because they've been my employees first and then we became friends. But people who were friends first, now I'm writing the paychecks. All of a sudden, everything is shifting.
Yeah, shit's not working. Yeah, and then whenever you have to lay the hammer down on him, it's
Terrible.
so much harder.
Yeah.
That's, part of the growth process, though, too. Learning, people can say until they're blue in the face, and then you're just like, well, you got to live and learn. The one thing is you cannot let that put a sour taste in your mouth about hiring, because not everybody is like that. And there are some real gems out there. You just got to keep at it. And like you said, I've heard you sifting through the ashes of they are out there. Those little gold nuggets are out there. Even in small towns like this, I'm still finding great people, and I will continue to hire and fire. It's all about the process and learning about that.
Yeah, and we're very rural too. Where Serene Clean started was 5,000 people, so we're right there with you with the rurality. And so,
yeah, you are.
Yes. And so the nice thing is, though, when you are a good employer and you treat people well, is that word of mouth happens as well, because the people that are really bad to work with in our town or work for, some of the factories are terrible to work for. They just don't give a shit at all. Like, that reputation gets around and people don't apply because of that. And the reverse happens too, of like, hey, I heard about you from my buddy, or, my so-and-so, my neighbor works for you. And that, like, they talked about what a great employer you were. And so that kind of small town vibes, it's a good thing too. Sometimes it's just, you have to be really on it. Like the small towniness can bite you in the ass, but sometimes it helps you.
Oh my gosh, can't it though? It really, really can.
What other kind of challenges have you faced when it came to hiring? I mean, we've had the whole industry, turnover is going to be pretty much our number one problem typically. So how have you guys kind of mitigated that? What processes do you have in place to help to keep up with hiring? For example, we do group interviews. Is there anything that you guys do that help keep up with the flow?
So my funnel was not good. That it's still an area that I need to work on. And my training system, gosh, it's like, yeah, just
training's a bitch. Yeah, it's hard. Training
it's like go do what I do.
Yeah.
One of my employees, Chris, I was telling him, I was checking in on the church, as a matter of fact. And I was like, where they get the coffee and stuff. And I was like, Chris, I was like, you got it. Take your wet magic eraser and go like that. He goes, oh man, Jamie, I would have never. Thanks for pointing that out to me. And I'm like,
yeah.
It dawned on me like, wait, do you know, like, I've had one person say, oh, there's different settings on the vacuum cleaner. And I was like, oh, just little minute things like that. But the process of hiring, I always meet them in a public place. I do working interviews.
Yeah, describe this. I'd love to hear what this working interview looks like. What does that look like?
So I meet them at my local Starbucks. I buy her or him a Starbucks, and I'm just talking to them. Are my customers going to like them? Are they showing up on time? Are they showing up early? Once that's established, I get all that information I told you about, and then I'm like, okay, let's go over to the office. I'll introduce them to one of their team leads. Then we go over in the other, like in a chat room, and like, hey, okay, so how did you guys feel? So I'm very transparent with everything with a lot of my employees. Our minimum wage here is $16.50 an hour.
That's literally higher than our starting. So Wisconsin is still $7.25, which is crazy terrible. But
right.
But it's like that's to think about. Like that's the minimum.
And it's going up in January.
That is, I literally. Do you know how many times I say, at least several times a year, I'm like, gee, I'm glad I don't own a business in California.
Yes, yeah, no kidding. Seriously, because basically you're getting day labor right now,
Yeah.
right? They're day labor. So they start off at $20 an hour. Let's see what you can do. Cleaning, I'm okay with cleaning. Like if you can't clean, that can be taught.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That can be taught because not everybody knows how to clean. Are you taking directions okay? They'll have a grade sheet and it'll just say pass or fail. And then I'll have the cleaning techs, they'll leave notes down at the bottom and I'll get their clock in, clock out, and that's it. Really. I mean, I just kind of, it just kind of ebbs and flows. That's one thing that I'm still really, it's my area of focus right now. First, it was the work funnel. Okay. Now I got that, uploading documents of what everybody needs over to QuickBooks, because that's who we use for payroll. Now it's the whole process of how do I want this to look, because these girls, I've had them forever. They just know what's inside of this crazy head of mine and can pull it out. And it's like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
Just hang on. So, and they're better at it than I am. Whenever it comes to training, I suck. Like, I don't know, just do whatever I do.
It was one of the first areas that I really wanted to delegate because I'm not particularly patient. And you're right. Like I grew up in a household where I knew how to clean, and that was the expectation. Literally, It was like white glove inspection every week after chores.
Yes.
And where I grew up. And so that was like implanted in my brain of like, I know if it's like, I just know what's good cleaning, but not everybody was. And so, or not everybody experiences that. And so that makes me not a very good teacher when I get impatient because what I think is obvious, like it's not obvious, and we shouldn't ever consider anything to be obvious when we're training somebody, right?
Oh, yeah, now we know that.
Yes,
right?
now we know. So, yeah.
Now I know that.
So when it comes to your virtual assistant that you have, what types of tasks are they doing for you? I know you mentioned the marketing side of things. Is there anything else that you've delegated so far?
That whole hiring funnel, to put all of that into QuickBooks so that they, stuff like their I-9, make sure that they filled out all their paperwork, that, they can't talk about what happens in a home and what they see, and not a lot of gossip, just your rules and everything. So that was built. She's working on like an employee handbook. Oh, my brochures. I got commercial and residential brochures that instead of cards, I liked, especially for those move out cleans, and somebody's buying a new house that's in an area that we really want, we leave them a nice little brochure with welcome home, because we want to get that. Yeah, we want to get that client. For the reoccurring. And and then the commercial, of course, Chris, and showcasing, him doing his thing, and he goes out and helps canvas for commercial because he's really he works at the casino. He's a security guard at a casino, and he knows all the inside scoops about, well, I'm like, hook it up, Chris. Tell him, let's get them Linda. Tell him we'll do it.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. What kind of commercial accounts do you guys have currently? I'm curious.
I have a bunch of banks, and the church, couple of churches. It's almost to where I kind of want to move, I think once we start and we see how much commercial can actually bring us, it's like we are like, I want that commercial.
Yeah.
I want that. But commercial's so hard to break into because they have those contracts, you're under contract. And if they're just getting subpar cleaning services, it's not like, but also this is where you're speaking, at those engagements at your Chamber of Commerce's, and you're getting up and saying, I need commercial account. I mean, of course, you spin it different, but
networking is so important, specifically for commercial. Like that's how we got a lot of contacts in our commercial accounts was, yes, us going to those business after fives and just talking to people.
And that's it. And that's what networking is. I want people to understand, what is network? That's just going out and talking to people. You're out there rubbing the elbows of who's who of the town, that because they show up to those places. And that's who I want to be hanging out with, is those people.
It really is. It's like people need to be exposed to your business multiple times, whether that be in person. They're coming across you on Facebook. They maybe Googled it, right? So the more interactions and the more we can get in front of our ideal and likely buyer, or the people who work at the facilities that we want to clean, the better our chances, because it's just this proximity, right? Like they're familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked to that lady, Jamie. She's got a cleaning company. Yeah.
Yeah. You become trusted, right?
Exactly. Yep.
You become and trusted and memorable. You're memorable. You're not just, constantly putting on social media, hey, I'm a housekeeper. No, it's a company. We have employees. We do background checks on all of them. I'm trying to get into that the government, the federal side of things, trying to fill out the sam.gov checklist they really
it's very
make
expensive.
You jump hoops.
Well,
it's pretty
with
intense.
The government shutdown, our largest account is a federal account, and it's not very fun right now.
I'm thankful that we can give our employees jobs.
Those are the types of things that really solidify that we've made the right choice, and that we are genuinely doing something that is good, and that money is simply a tool, and we are literally creating this environment that people can thrive in and for their families. And that's one of my favorite things to ask staff members of, what have you been able to accomplish because you've worked here? It's like, oh, I bought a new truck, I bought a house, my kid was able to go on this school trip. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because it's generationally affecting people and the community as well, right? We're able to give. We are able to support different community initiatives, give free cleanings. There is something very, very special about owning a business that you cannot replicate just by working for somebody else, right?
No, I don't think I could ever go back to it.
No, I couldn't. Nobody. I'm having a ball. I couldn't do that. But it keeps you motivated, to keep pushing when you can't do it for yourself, doing it for those around you, and that can be incredibly motivating. And if anybody wants to listen to your podcast, Jamie, tell us about it. What kind of topics do you guys cover? The frequency of episodes, what are we looking at for that? Because we'd love to have everybody go subscribe to you.
Right. So we are the Cleaning Business Life I'm the co-host with Shannon Miller, and we talk about just everything that pretty much just about the same thing, from running your business to what your cleaners come across. I'm really actually what it morphed into. I was a sidekick there for a little bit, but really it was it became so much more than that, because I am actually Shannon's mentee, and it's kind of real life experiences of cleaning business owners, and what a mentor can help do for you.
No, absolutely. That's beautiful. And we'll definitely link the podcast down below. And this has been so wonderful to finally meet you, Jamie. I know we've seen each other online. So this is great that we were able to connect. And I really loved hearing your story. It is really inspirational. And I'm really excited to see where things go in the new year for you as well.
Same. I'll be watching.
Awesome. Well, everybody, leave Jamie some love in the comments. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and then head on over to her podcast and give it a listen, give it a like, and leave her some love there as well. And we will see you guys in the next episode of Filthy Rich Cleaners. Bye-bye.